I got two great guests here on the air as we dive deep into a good conversation with the Port of Shelton. It's Dick Taylor and Wendy Smith. Good morning, gang.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Super.
It's wet out there as we start things up, and I can imagine that work crews kind of just getting things buttoned up from the summer, from Oysterfest, and now Brandon and the gang got to be out there working on things with the rain coming down.
That's right.
Now,
That's
Brandon
right.
and the gang, too.
Yeah.
Lots of rain coming down.
Well, we got a better week ahead of us, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the Cougars and the Huskies both got.
What
the
happened
Huskies
there?
got snake bit, and the Cougars, I don't know.
Yikes, oh Mike.
Both of them got wiped out, but it's a new week.
Thank
so.
goodness the Seahawks didn't play this last week.
That's for sure. And the Mariners weren't
Trifecta.
playing either.
Yeah, right? Well, what's been going on? I hear some rustlings down at the Marina. Is that what the deal is?
Yeah, our camera, we had one of our live-in or live-on-board boat owners down there in one of the open slips reported that somebody came on his boat at, 3 o'clock in the morning? Something like that.
Oh, wow.
And not good.
No.
We caught the guy on tape, so we
Yeah.
have pictures of him. The police have pictures of him. It
Okay.
also shows him going around looking at trying other doors, boathouse doors, other boat cabin doors, and things like that. So, but we have video of him doing it. So,
Are the ramps open during the overnights, or do you have to have a special key code?
You have to have
or-
a key, not a code, but just a key. But somebody had jury-rigged the door. It was kind of one of those handles that you could loop something around, and they had looped something through the fencing and then around the handle, and so they were able to just pull it up.
Wow.
So our guys yesterday spent their bulk of their day, just securing that door. They patched, there was a hole that maybe somebody small could have kind of fit through. Someone had cut the fencing, but they secured that. They made it a doorknob, I think, instead of, the handle type that you can actually loop something around. And then they put a metal plate so you couldn't slip something, so we've gotten more secure. Yeah, the gentleman that was on his boat, he isn't actually a live-aboard,
No,
but
was
he just was staying on his boat.
Oh, wow.
And he actually thought that potentially the port had security, because the guy asked him if he was okay. The guy quickly reacted and said, "Oh, are you okay? Just checking on you."
Interesting.
And so asked about our security late at night, which we don't have security down there. We rely on our live-aboards that are down there, or tenants that are down
the
there to
police
watch
department.
out, and the police.
Sure.
Yeah. So really glad that turned out okay. But that kind of led us to looking at the cameras. We've put in a police report. We alerted the tenants that we, knew that had issues, and then we alerted all the tenants to, be aware, lock things up, because most of them feel pretty comfortable because it is behind a locked gate.
Yeah.
So it was a little interesting, to say the least. So,
Well, I remember when you guys put in all that security system down at the marina and up
the
at the
cameras at the
airport, and these security systems are there's a significant cost involved when you have to connect the power and you hook it up to the internet nowadays and things like that. But these are the cases that you can go back and look at and say, listen, it was a necessity, and now we were able to do something with this.
Yeah, and the news probably for the rest of the world, or even the tenants, if they have an issue at either property, if they have a documented time, that makes it far easier than scrolling through,
hours of
days and days. It's just not time efficient to do that. But yeah, this guy knew it was right around 3 o'clock. We were able to zone in on the date, the time, and then there's enough cameras down there that we could get all kinds of angles and
cameras cover the whole area.
Yep.
Pretty much. There's, a couple probably little, hidden spots, but really, if you can't see it from one camera, you can see it from another. And we have cameras that are water side, because a lot of the prowling happens by water.
Really?
And so we have some cameras that way, and then we have parking lot, pier, down both docks. Yeah, so makes
we can
it
even
pretty.
see Highway 3
Wow.
Yeah.
and monitor Highway 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What else is going on here?
Well, I don't know. The lights are flashing.
I know the
So let's see. What else were we? We actually had our meeting yesterday.
We had our meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
signed a lease. for
signed a new
5,000
lease.
square foot building
Nice.
Yeah.
for Fungi Perfecti, which
Oh.
they're already a tenant, but they want to expand, and so we've got another 5,000
Nice.
square foot building for them.
Good,
Yep,
good.
yep.
That's great.
Oh.
Yeah.
So-
That's quite a business over there.
It is.
Oh, it is,
It's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So they're always kind of on we don't really have a list per se of waiting list for buildings, but they always tell us whenever something becomes available,
Nice.
we
We want
want
it.
it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Good
So-
problems for both of you guys,
That's
I guess,
right.
to have.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. And then the other thing going on, as you know, we're involved in all the Johns Prairie
Yeah.
curb projects. Probably the biggest issue is that the roof project is now complete, and so that's final. So is the paving. So
Oh,
that's
nice.
good. Those are both Lynch Creek property. Right next door, we were waiting on getting some permitting for septic system for the property just right adjacent to Lynch Creek, and got it. And so the pre-bid is actually this Friday, and then the bids will be due on the 30th for that. So that'll be the port match on that,
Okay.
for that project, and then the rest
Curbs, yeah.
yeah, but through the curb funding, and then walling in the building and the rest of the issues on that, or not issues, the rest of the
Challenges.
not even challenges, but project related items will come from the loan and the grant.
Okay.
So yeah, so those are good things. They're moving along.
Good stuff coming from the port then, and good
Yeah.
information to pass along. So you can always find out more from the Port of Shelton online on their websites and social media. We link to those social media accounts here when we post these interviews. And so you did the budget, you gave it to the county, and so now we're kind of in another quiet period through the end of the year then?
Well, semi-quiet.
Uh-oh.
The 30th of October, we start our state audit.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that'll be a 3-year audit. We're on a 3-year cycle, and so they'll look at 2014, 15, and 16. And that gets tough when you look back that far. You
Sure.
can't quite remember what
Right,
14
yeah.
was all about.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be, we have accountability audit and financial. So they'll look at all our financial statements, and then they'll look at all of our how do we handle cash, how do we receipt, how do we invoice, all those various things, inventory, how do we track it, whatever they choose, how do we do contracting, and all that. So it's just a process.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us, it happens every time we have it. It's this time of the year. Our particular team that is connected to the Port of Shelton is out of Port Orchard, and they have school districts and other entities that have different deadlines.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the year is taken up by those groups. And so we asked them if we could do it earlier in the year, because it's always running into holidays and vacations and meetings and various things. And they said no, that with their other deadlines, that doesn't work. So we go with it.
So this is a company that you contract out, or is it from the
State
state?
auditor's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But interesting for you to say that. We do have the right to contract out. We could hire a firm to do that, and we may very well look at that and see what that entails. Not that we don't, we partner very well with our state
Yeah.
office. The problem is this timing thing.
Yeah.
It's difficult. So we're kind of looking at maybe going to an annual audit cycle. It'll make things shorter, because 3 years takes a big bulk
I
of
bet.
time. And we may look at, going outside of the state.
So that's an option.
It is an option.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I have to look into a little more. I'm not totally sure they can do both accountability and financial. I think there's maybe one or the other. And the best option there is that they could probably be more on our time frame than
Yeah.
Yeah.
dictating, you can only have it, October through December, that type of thing. So, and we understand. It's
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
for, we're so small staffed, and to pull all of us together, and then we have an outside auditor, and so her time, and it puts a burden,
Sure.
for sure. So
Interesting. Well, we'll keep our eyes on that one. We continue with great conversations here with the Port of Shelton. Dick Taylor, Wendy Smith, always good seeing y'all.
you
Good
too.
to be here.
Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
Go dogs.
Go
huh?
Dogs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Good. Get them both in here for sure. All right. Surface on out of here.